we are here. I am Chanel Dupree with Foster Care and Fashion, and we have the lovely Miss Evelyn Foster.
Good morning.
Yes, and Miss Foster is a licensed esthetician, and she also has some experiences in the foster care system as well. We are going to do I'm going to let you talk about what we're doing.
We're doing a pretty natural daytime look for our awesome Chanel this morning, and I've already taken the liberty of preparing her awesome face. We've already gotten foundation on and some contouring done by highlighting. I'll continue the contouring process, and we've gotten brows done and whatnot. So we've got the basic, what I call the foundational piece that makes the face complete. We've got the groundwork already done. So we're going to go from here, and we're going to go ahead and do a little eye work and do some awesome lips and some other natural highlighting for the day to complete our look. Are we ready?
We're ready.
All right.
Yeah.
So like I said, the brows are done. And what I like to do to finish the brows, I love to put a little brow gel on it. We call it kind of like mascara for the brows. And what it does, Chanel has beautifully thick eyebrows, already just beautiful. And what I like to do is, because we've got some makeup on them to hold them in their place, I like to make sure that they don't move on her. So this just kind of is a clear gel and just kind of holds it in place for her so that she can go about her day without any worries. It's now warm outside and humidity plays tricks on all of us. So right now we're doing everything to keep everything in place. So I've got some awesome brow gel on there. And now I'm going to go ahead and continue on a little bit with my contouring process for her, which I love to do. She is a beautiful brown, bronze colored skin already. So there's not a whole lot of deep contouring we need to do. I put just a hair right here in her jaw area, and it's just an hair. And I'll use a pretty bronzy colored contour on her so they'll show up a little bit. It almost shows up like a little bit of blush. We'll finish it off. But she doesn't need a whole lot because, like I said, she's already beautifully contoured by nature. Nature's already done a beautiful thing. Actually, God has already done a beautiful thing by coloring her himself. So we're just adding to it just a little bit.
Thank you.
Just a hair. Just enough. Right at that cheekbone. I don't like to go too deep because it pulls the face down. I like to go right here at that cheekbone. And then we do take a little bit and we contour the sides of the nose, just a hair. Just pulling out some beautiful colors in here. Just a wee little bit for her. You guys, I love doing Chanel's face. It's beautiful.
I love our sessions.
We have wonderful talks. Wonderful conversations.
We do.
Then I go back in with a little bit of a lighter color in here just to pull out some more of the highlights, just a little bit. I kind of use this color right here, just enough to pull it out just a little bit in the areas I've already placed highlighter. Just enough. All right.
So what is contouring and highlighting, and why should you do that?
Contouring and highlighting. All right. As Miss Chanel has explained to you, I am an esthetician, which means I'm a licensed esthetician and I'm an aesthetic instructor for Entourage School Institute of Beauty. And we teach this wonderful thing. The model face shape is to be oval. And you have beautiful people of all types of facials. Mine is more square, if you can see. There are some who have a heart-shaped face, some have a pear-shaped face, some who have diamond-shaped face. And the whole idea with contouring and highlighting is to take that particular face shape, however you were created, and turn it into an oval. Well, the only way that you can do that is by shading and highlighting. You are almost a beautiful oval. You have very high cheekbones. So what we do is we take that down just a hair by putting in a darker color to kind of knock those down. Remember, darker colors recede things and lighter colors pull out things. So I go ahead, because she's got beautiful prominent cheekbones. So I go ahead and I add just a little bit of a darker shade here to kind of push those in a little bit. And then we put the highlighter in the middle to pull it forward, to pull underneath the eye area forward to pull here, because also she's in the light a lot. She is an awesome person in the limelight a lot. Beautiful attorney. So therefore she is on camera a lot. So you always want the light to hit you center of your face. So we like highlight here, here, and in this area here to pull that forward. So that's what contouring and highlighting does. It goes ahead and gives the perfect face shape as we need it to be, naturally and for camera purposes.
Because when I put on my foundation, I just do like once over.
Once over, that's just kind of it.
And there we go.
Awesome, understood, gotcha, understood. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and get to work on those beautiful eyes of yours that I so adore. Ah, I love her eyes, they're beautiful. And again, I'm using some pretty natural hues for her. And I'm gonna tilt her head back here. I put the mid-tone right in here, right where you can see right in here. And I am just going right in this area. In what we call that crease area. I love shades of brown in this area. And I use browns mostly a lot anyway, because I call it my transitional color. It pulls all the other colors together when we go ahead and blend everything in. It pulls everything together. And I'm also being very careful as a makeup artist because my awesome client here has contacts. So I generally know about where the top of her contact is, so I don't press on it. So as a makeup artist, that's something else that we're aware of. We're aware where our clients, where their contacts are, if they have contacts, if they're hard contacts, if they're soft contacts, if they're really little tiny contacts, if they're really big contacts. We have to know all of that. So I've done that. And then I'm going to go in with a little bit deeper color. Just a hair deeper. And I'm going again right in this area here, just kind of giving it some dimension. Right in here. And I take the other end of my makeup brush, and I go in and I blend, because what you don't want is what we call a line of demarcation. And a line of demarcation is, you see, like, look like stripes of the rainbow. You get one color and there's another color and they don't blend very well together. They don't play nice in a sandbox together. Well, we don't want that effect. We want blended eyeshadows. Doing okay for me? Yes. Awesome. And I just take and I circle motion just to blend them together. Now this is a little bit more prominent color because we need to divide it from the actual lid itself, the lid color itself. So you will be able to see it a little bit more prominently. But I'm blending. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So if you can tell me, how did you come up with the concept of foster care and fashion?
So, I have been in the courtroom representing parents and representing children and foster families and interested parties for about 7 or 8 years now. And it's a passion of mine. I love helping folks navigate the system, but even more so, I love discovering how we can fix the system, because as you know, it's big, it's huge, and sometimes it feels very overwhelming.
Absolutely.
And so there's just lots of different people out there who are doing amazing things.
Absolutely.
And so it was time to move from the courtroom to begin really pulling on the different connections that I've made throughout these years, and just highlight these different programs and people who have not only been through the system, but are going through the system.
Wow.
And so, like you, I thought this would be excellent because you have been through the system.
Absolutely.
And then I like fashion.
Because the two can go together. Absolutely, most definitely.
Yes. And so just like now, we are, this episode is heavy on fashion, but we will have something in here about foster care.
Outstanding.
We just kind of, we alternate and we get it in while we fit it in. I'll say I probably didn't really start wearing makeup until probably 2 years ago.
Really?
And it's when you came to the women's conference and did I think I was your impromptu model.
You were.
And she did my face. I said, oh my gosh. We're gonna do this again. So
quite fun. It was very fun. It was very fun indeed. And while we're talking, I'm just, for those in my audience, I'm adding the lid color, which is a nice light, just a nice wonderful light color, just to bring out her beautiful lid. And then, of course, I'm taking a very clean brush for blending purposes. And again, circular motion, just to blend the two together. Being mindful again of her wonderful contacts that she has in there. Patting that in. Number one, because she has in contacts. But number two, when you're wanting a shade to really see a shade, it is best to pat it in, to press it in. You're able to get more of that color that you want on there if you go ahead and press that color in there. And yes, as makeup artists, you become ambidextrous. You have to work with both hands at the same time a lot.
And you've been doing this for how long?
I've been doing makeup for about 28 years now. If you look up for me, open your eyes for me. Wonderful. Okay, close again. I'm depositing color. I've been doing makeup for 28 years. And I will say it is a calling. A lot of people wouldn't think that it is, but it is definitely a calling, because I was 9 years old. 9 years old, actually, when I stepped off and decided that I wanted to be raised by someone else other than my mom. But at that time, I believe it was also the beginning stages of the birth of what I was to be doing right now. Because my foster mother had a book by one of the very first Black supermodels, Naomi Sims. Mm-hmm. And she had a book out on how to do hair and makeup and everything else. And I sat down at 9 years old. My mother told me, said, read the book. Now, I'm 9 years old. I do not understand all of the language in that book, but I made out what I could. And in those days, I was raised in a beautiful Lutheran church that was named St. John's Lutheran Church. It was on, it started out on Cleveland, and it ended up on 4545 Benton Boulevard. Mm-hmm. And we had what was called rummage sales. You don't hear rummage anymore. Everyone says garage sales. We call them rummage sales. And somebody had donated a little tray of Mary Kay emerald green shadow. And oh my God, that stuff was so ugly. But I wanted it, and I got some Avon lipstick, and I bought it. I think they were like 50 cents each.
That sounds expensive.
Yeah, it was expensive back then. And I decided that I wanted it. And my foster mother let me have it. Now, who would let a 9-year-old have eyeshadow and lipstick? But for some odd reason, she did. My mother was a very fashionable person. Right here, I'm putting a little bit of shimmer right here in the corner of the eye to open that eye up. Even though her eyes are beautifully big, I always like to put just a hair there to open that eye up just a little bit. Just a little bit of shimmer. Just a hair. And so she let me have it, and she told me to practice. And so I did. And as time went on, open up your eyes for me. And as time went on, there we go. Just blending it a little bit here. As time went on, I began to do more and more makeup. Look up for me. I'm putting just a little bit, just a hair's worth. Just right here and right there. Just a hair. Just a hair.
So when you say you practice, do people let you practice on them?
My mother. And she wore wigs. The lady had phenomenal hair, but she wore lots and lots of wigs.
Okay.
And because she did, and she wore wonderful wigs, it was my job to brush them. Look up for me. And I'm just taking that same brown that I did the deeper color width, and I'm just pulling it in here underneath the eye area to pull the whole eye look together. She would let me practice on her. Open it for me. There we go. She would let me practice on her. So I would brush her wigs and play with her wigs. And oh my gosh, I had so much fun with that. And we played and played and played. And that was her way of letting me practice. And if she had one wig, the lady had 20. And we used to call her Sister Two Hats because back in that day, my foster mother was born in 1918. So she was a very pristine lady. She was prestigious in her own way, but she was very neat, very clean. They were very ladylike. Her legs were always crossed at the ankles. You didn't wear pantyhose. You wore hose, and she had girdles and things. And Lord have mercy, you were always together.
It's hot.
It's hot, but then Lord, those girdles of hers are made out of rubber. But she put me in them. But everything was in. There wasn't anything shaking and moving like you see nowadays. Everything was together.
Nothing was a jiggling.
Nothing was a jiggling. But we called her Sister Two Hats because she would always wear a wig and a tam in the wintertime.
And a what?
A tam.
No, what is that?
A little tam, little flat hat that you see.
Okay.
It has no shape, looks like a frisbee.
Okay.
And it sets on here. You can pull it this way, or this way.
Like the British wedding.
Like a British wedding. And she would wear that wig, and that tam was here.
Okay.
That was winter. In the summertime, she'd wear a visor. Wig, visor. And I would have to brush those curls just right over that visor.
Okay.
She wore powder, and she wore red lipstick, and either she wore Charlie, Opium, or Chanel No. 5. That was it.
Yes.
Yes, Chanel. That's what she would wear. All right, guys, I am lining her eye with a beautiful liner. Just a little bit. Just pulling the look together just a little bit. Her eyes were so big and expressive. She doesn't need a whole lot. And the Feast de Resistance, I haven't even gotten to yet, guys. And that's her beautiful lashes. Oh, sweet Lord. Her lashes are beautiful. We talk about them every time I get a chance to do her face. They are amazing. Just amazing. Okay, I'm going to turn you just a little bit this way because I don't want to cross the camera. So we can see the other side. Like I said, just a hair's worth of aligning. Just a hair's worth. Then I get to apply it with her lashes. And she doesn't need much. She doesn't wear false lashes because she was born with these long things that I'll show you here in just a minute. They're beautiful. And not only are they long, but they're thick.
Thank you, Mama and Daddy.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, they did that one. They did that one all by themselves, and being nice, light touch. Because like I said, she has in context. We're being very, very mindful of that. Here we go. Here we go. All right, let me see them. Very good. Up close for me. She has such beautifully thick lashes and lids. I'm having to kind of go up and go underneath, and sometimes you have to do that. So you'll see a separation of skin, or lid, I should say. And putting on eyeliner is such a wonderful thing. I learned how to do it in the car. I won't tell you that I'm doing it while I'm driving. I didn't say that on camera. We learn what to do. Yes, we do. We do. We definitely learn how to do that and what to do that. That's an awesome thing.
It is. So it sounds like you have very fond memories of your foster family.
I do. I consider myself a very blessed foster child. I'm just going over a little bit of black shadow to kind of make it stay a little longer, a little intensify it just a little bit. I have very, very fond memories of being a foster child. And because she instilled things in me, I do believe it's why I am who I am today. My mother, I think she missed, my foster mother that is, I think she missed her calling as a meteorologist. I was raised, they had gardens. My foster mom and foster dad had his and her gardens. And I was raised to garden, and we would sit out on the porch, and we would, on the back porch, so there's a patio, and what we would do is while we were out and about, we would sit and watch the weather come in. We would watch the weather come in. Yes, we would. That we would do. We would watch the weather come in. That we would do. We would watch the weather come in. And she would tell me, in the summertime, storms come from the west to east. And they reverse in the wintertime, they reverse.
Is that true?
Basically, yes. And forgive me, I've got some other tools that I have that's off camera. Else I wouldn't use the same one on this eye, so I'm going very light not to get near their water line, because we don't believe in cross-contaminating. So for all of you wonderful individuals that are out there, just please know I am fully aware. So I'm being extremely careful, but I do know this wonderful client. And we do sanitize in between. Because as an instructor, we do not double dip. We do everything, and we use single-use utensils, and we throw them away. As a makeup artist, it gets a little different out in the field. But I still sanitize all of my brushes thoroughly, and the makeup palettes themselves. Okay, look up for me. See what I mean, guys? She does not have on false lashes. They're just beautiful. Oh my goodness. It's just beautiful. But yes, because my wonderful foster parents were who they were, I ended up being successful in my life. And I, as growing up in the church, if you will, like you hear them say, I don't take nothing from my journey. It has been a beautiful experience. I'm taking a little bit of blush. If you'll smile for me, love. I'm just giving her a little bit of beautiful color on top of all that. Just a little dab on her beautiful cheeks, and swirling upward just a little bit.
So in the court system, we would call it a kinship placement, because you knew them before you came into the foster care system.
Yes, I did.
They were actually your babysitters.
Yes, they were. They had babysat me since I was 1 month of age.
Oh, wow.
They had me because my mom was a single mom. That she was, and this is wonderful highlight. Guys, I don't know if you can hardly see it on camera over there. Just highlights her a little bit, so she's glowing. Mom being a single mom, she needed help. She worked for St. Joseph's Hospital that used to be on Linwood. On Linwood and Prospect, I do believe. And she worked there, and she was a nurse's aide there. And she needed assistance. She needed help. And so the next door neighbor stepped up to the plate.
Beautiful.
And stepped right on in and helped her. I'm going to put a nice little, beautiful, simple color on my gorgeous lady here on her lips. So they stepped up and they helped her. And they kept me. And they fed me, because my foster father, they worked through the Depression. They both retired from the police department, but before then, my foster father was a W-2 vet. And he was a chef in the Army. And they gave him training. They gave him formal training while he was in there. And he fixed food so good, if you will, that they pulled him out of the enlisted men's tent and moved him into the officer's tent. And he wanted to stay with the enlisted men because they were going through so much. And during that season in life, you can imagine who was getting the best care and who was not. Okay, say off for me just a little bit. Thank you. And he went over there they shipped him over to the officer's tent, and no, my father was not happy about that. So what did my dad do? He obeyed the nutritionist's instructions for what they should have to eat, instead of baking the lemon meringue pies and peach pies and smoking meat in, for them. He obeyed whatever the nutritionist said, so they weren't happy. They shipped him back. They shipped him right on back to the enlisted men's tent. Yes, they did. They did, because they said, I thought you said, they called him Brownie. I thought you said Brownie could cook. Well, he can. He just didn't want to cook for the officers. He wanted the hardworking enlisted men to eat well. And leaving there, he came on back to Kansas City, and he worked in all the hotels downtown.
Really?
Yes, he did. And so cooking. Until he ended up working for the post office. And still, when the Depression time came, mush your beautiful lips together for me. When the Depression still going strong, and you can go with this with your particular lip color for later on the day. He decided to he baked his way through the Depression. He baked for everyone, and kept money in him and my foster mom's pockets.
Side hustle.
That's what we call a side hustle. A legal side hustle.
We do legal things here.
Yes. I tell my grandchildren, matter of fact, all the time, Nana, what are you getting ready to do? I said, Nana's getting ready to go do something clean for Green. Yes, I am. That's what Nana does. That's what Nana does. I do something clean for Green. Absolutely.
That's all right.
And so Dad did that and took care of his family.
Okay. There's nothing wrong with that.
Nope. And that's something that they instilled in me, even to this day, to work hard.
Absolutely.
Work hard. It'll pay off. It may take a little time, but I promise you, in time, it will pay off.
It's that work ethic.
It is that work ethic. And, being a foster child, the percentages for me being successful were down from just the simple fact that I was a foster child. But I was blessed to have that relation. What was the proper name of it that you called it?
Kindred.
Because of that, and because they knew me, I trusted them.
Kinship.
I trusted them. Mush your lips together for me. I had a trust for them. I had a big trust for them. And what they told me to do, I did. And it worked in my favor. And for that, I am grateful.
That is beautiful.
All right. I'm going to get a mirror for you, my love, because I believe that we are complete. And I want you to tell me what you think of your wonderful, I'm on my way to work, nice daytime look.
Oh, yay. It is beautiful.
All natural.
It is beautiful. Okay. You did it again.
I did wonderful. I'm grateful. I'm going to just take and we set the face with the wonderful mattifying spray to hold it for the day, so she doesn't have to worry about repowdering a lot or any of those things. So you have a completed face, and for our audience, this is what my version of a beautiful natural look is. Just enough to draw beautiful attention to her, but nothing overpowering. We don't like to go out looking like clowns. We like to go out at least very well blended.
I want to still be who I am. I want to still look like me.
Yes.
That's what this is.
That's what it is. So
thank you.
You're more than welcome. Thank you.
Foster care and fashion.
All the way.